badly. Okay, bye. No, but in all seriousness, though, like, let's actually take a look at exactly how my bracket is doing here. So, first things first, 75%. Can't see that right there. 75%. I'm not going to say, considering this is the first time I've ever actually made a bracket, I'm not going to complain. Now, let's actually look at all the series. Same as before, starting in the West. So, Dallas Vegas, it did end up going to 7 games. Dallas did come out with that one. I still stand by what I said, right? I didn't think that Vegas was going to be strong enough to take out Dallas, and I was right. Winnipeg and Colorado. I still don't like the Jets. But, like, okay, if we're going to look at this and say, like Hellebuck came out and said that was the best hockey he's played in his life. Like, really? Sorry, but if that was the best ever, then Colorado 100% deserves to take that. 100%. Vancouver and Nashville, I will admit, I underestimated Vancouver. I thought that the veteran presence on Nashville was going to overtake that one, but I will admit Vancouver surprised me there. Vancouver definitely did, and Nashville, I mean, I just overestimated Nashville a little bit, but hey, that's fine. And then Edmonton and LA, that one was kind of a given for me. I knew Edmonton was going to come out on top on that one. Like, 3 years in a row, the same matchup. Edmonton has won the past 2. I was pretty sure that they were going to win this one. Like, look at the season they had. They went from 30th, like the basement of the standings, to 9th overall. Like, I think that's pretty fair assessment to say, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll take it out. Over to the East. Tampa, Florida. Like, come on. Florida is 100% the better team there. I don't, there's really nothing left to say on that one. Boston and Toronto. Now, clearly, as you can see here, I had Toronto going all the way. After the first 4 games, I 100% looked at my bracket and went, oof, that's painful. Like, Toronto was not playing very well. They just kind of let Boston do their thing, really, and they just, yeah. But then Game 5 happened. And then Game 6 happened, and I went, okay, we're forcing a Game 7. Interesting. And then, I think both Boston and Toronto played a really, really good Game 7. It sucks for Toronto that they ended up letting that goal in, but in overtime, but yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I'm not going to sit here and try and defend my choices. Like, I 100% overestimated Toronto, and I 100% underestimated Boston. I will not defend that. Hey, that's just what I did, and yeah. Moving on. New York and Washington. I'm sorry, but that was a little bit of a joke. That was a joke. Like, a full sweep. Like, ooh. I didn't think that was ever... I didn't think that was going to happen, and yet it did. Like, I'm sorry, but I knew New York was going to come out on top of that one. And that series was a little bit of a joke. I'm not going to lie. Again, minus 37 goal differential in the regular season. And you think they're going to take something in the playoffs? No. Just no. Carolina and Islanders? I'm going to admit I didn't watch a lot of this series. I think I watched maybe 1 or 2 games of this series, but yeah, it was close from what I saw, but again, like, Carolina's just the better team. It really is just the better team. Now, technically, I do know that round 2 has started between these two, between New York and Carolina, and New York did take the first game. I do know that. It was, 4-3, I think, the first game? Yeah. But looking at this bracket and going, dang, this kind of sucks. This kind of sucks. I was not very happy with seeing everything fall apart like that. But here's the great thing. The NHL has wonderfully graced us with a second chance bracket. It's amazing. They've graced us with a second chance bracket. And so now we're going to fill out the second chance bracket. Okay, here we go. So, again, in the West, Dallas, Colorado. Now, Dallas got taken to 7 games against Vegas. Colorado almost swept. It was 4-1. Went to game 5. Looking at how everything played out and the fact that Colorado was able to score, what was it? I think 5 games more. 5 games, what am I saying? 5 goals minimum against Winnipeg. Now, to be fair, Winnipeg wasn't playing great, regardless of what Hellebuck said. I'm going to flip on this one. I'm going to say Colorado is going to take it over Dallas. Originally, I said Dallas was going to take it over Colorado. I'm flipping. I'm going to say Colorado's taking it over Dallas. Vancouver and Edmonton. So we're guaranteed to have a Canadian team in at least the conference finals. This one, I'm not changing. I'm going to keep it as Edmonton. I'm going to keep Edmonton there. I think Edmonton can take it over Vancouver. Now, I know that Vancouver had a 4-0 season series against them, but I think that Edmonton is going to take it over Vancouver there. Dallas and Colorado, I think, is going to go 6 games. Vancouver, Edmonton is going to go a full 7. Those teams, I think this series here is going to be close, but I still think Edmonton's going to be able to take out Vancouver there. Florida, Boston. All right, Florida, Boston. Now, if we listen to what everybody's saying and the fact that whoever won that Boston-Toronto series is going to get like absolutely dumpstered by Florida, I agree. I think Florida's going to take it. I do. I really do think that Florida's going to take it. I don't think that Boston is going to be able to take it over Florida here. Kind of a repeat of last year's first round, but I honestly, there really isn't much to say. Florida is playing great. Boston almost blew another 3-1 lead. It was a fight. Like, that 7th game was a fight. Like, they snuck that puck in and won game 7. I think Florida's going to take it. I don't know exactly. I'll come back to that and think about that one. All right, so yeah, lead series 1-0 for New York here. But this one's actually kind of a tough decision, actually. Because, like, these two teams are generally pretty close, in my mind, at least. They're pretty close in terms of just where they're at and how they play. I think the fact that I don't know if it's been announced yet or if it's still coming or if it was just rumored, like insiders rumored it, but the fact that there's talks at least that Rod Brind'Amour is going to be renewing his contract this offseason, or at least going to be very shortly from what it sounds like, that's going to be a huge stressor removed from Carolina. So I'm going to still put Carolina there. I think that series is going to go at least 6 games. I think Carolina is going to start pushing. I'm going to say 7. I'm going to say Carolina is just barely going to take out New York there. Now this Florida-Boston series. It's definitely not going to be a sweep. It's possible in 5. It's possible in 6. It's possible in 7. I'm going to say 6. I think that Boston is going to drop a handful. I think Boston's going to be able to definitely pull off some games, but I think Florida's got the edge there, and they're going to take it further. Now, conference finals. Colorado, Edmonton. Now, obviously, as a Canadian, I would love to see a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup final and be able to win the Stanley Cup. I would. Let me think here. Like, I think, again, these two teams were generally pretty close. 49-25 and 7, 49-26 and 6. Like, they have pretty much identical records. Their points are pretty well identical. Their goals per game are pretty well identical. Their goals against, pretty close. The power play, obviously. The penalty kill. Yeah, like these two teams are generally very, very close. As much as I want a Canadian team in the final, I think Colorado's going to edge that one out again. I think Colorado's going to take it to the final. I think we're going to have a chance at having Colorado win their second Stanley Cup in 3 years. There's a chance. All right. And then a repeat of last year's conference finals. Florida and Carolina. Now, here's the fun thing. How are you supposed to see where this splits? They're literally the same color. Are you kidding me? Look at this. They're literally the same color. One, like, again, pretty well identical records in the regular season. Points are the same, obviously. Goals per, pretty close. Goals against, pretty close. Power play, edges out for Carolina. Penalty kill, edges out for Carolina. Looking at those stats, literally just the power play and the penalty kill. But again, Florida's looking pretty lethal. I'm still going to take Carolina on that one. I'm still going to take Carolina there. I am. So we got a new final instead of Edmonton, Toronto in the final here. But I'm thinking now Colorado and Carolina. Thank you, second chance bracket. Let me think here. Colorado versus Carolina. I'm going to give it to Carolina. I think Carolina's going to take it. Now, both of these teams I don't think are going to be super, super high danger in the finals. I think that Carolina's defense is going to give them a little bit of extra over Colorado's defense. So that's where I think that the games are going to be very, very close. Like, they're going to be 1 goal, maybe 2 goal. I think that we're going to get a few overtime games in the final here. I'm going to say it's not going to be like high scoring, not like the first round. I'm going to say 25 goals over the course of the series. I have agreed. Submit bracket. That's in. So there we go. There's my second chance bracket. Looking back at my first round bracket, lots of changes. First change, biggest change here. Another change here. This I've kept the same. This switches out. Boston, obviously, I've got coming in here. Florida, I've got in place there, taking out Boston. Like, it's looking like a very different playoffs than I had originally thought it was going to be. But yeah. Anyway, that's my second chance. You guys are more than welcome to roast me in the comments down below about how I thought Toronto was going to win the cup, because we all know what happens there. Hey, I overestimated them. I really did. It doesn't matter. They're going to be firing and trading anybody anyway. So, well, that's all. There you go. There's the updated bracket. We'll see how it goes. Have fun in round 2. Another update will come once round 2 is over and we're looking at the conference finals and the final 4. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.